My name is Sharon Scott. I am a Diamond Beachbody coach, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about meal prep today. As you can see, I just did a big Costco run for all of my food, so I figured it would be a good time to show you guys kind of what I buy and how I go about prepping for my week. So when you're first starting, especially when you're first starting, meal prep is so key in your success and helping you figure out the program and just kind of getting the hang of things. This was the one thing that I struggled with big time in starting my own journey. I am not a menu planner. I do not write grocery lists. That was something that I struggled with and still do. But it really is key, and it helps so much if you just sit down and do it. So I wanted to give you a couple key pointers that have helped me and things that I've learned along the way over the last few months as I've done this myself. So the first thing obviously is to make a menu. So I just printed this off of the internet. I think I got on Pinterest, or you can get on Google and just, put in 21 Day Fix meal tracker or menu or whatever, and it will bring up lots of different versions of this. I liked this one because it had all my container counts at the top with my calorie bracket, and then it goes through breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and you just write down what your containers are for the day. One thing that I've learned along the way that I didn't know when I wrote this, and it's why it took me 4 days to write it because it overwhelmed me so much. I tend to eat a lot of the same foods, especially for breakfast. It just makes it easier for me. I still like it every day, so I don't really go off of how I used to plan. My typical breakfast, I'll have Oikos Greek yogurt with some Love Crunch on top, and I like to put chia seeds in it, and then I'll put fresh berries on top. That is probably something I eat 4 or 5 times a week. I'll also do things like boiled eggs. Cook your boiled eggs in a pressure cooker if you have it. It's so much faster. It's like 5 minutes. Anyway, but so instead of making something different for every single meal, I will do a lot of the same things. So I work super early hours at Costco, and so I take my breakfast with me. So I will make a dozen boiled eggs for the week, and I have my yogurt and stuff and I just have it ready to go in my lunch every day. Another thing I like to pack a lot is these Bob's Red Mill stuffed oats. I'll cook enough, and then I use my container and I portion it out and put it in little Tupperwares so I can just grab it and go, and it makes it super easy. I'll just put fresh berries over the top of it with a little agave and cinnamon, and it's super, super good. When you're making your menu though, so start with your breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It starts your metabolism and gets you going. Then skip your snacks and lunch and go straight to dinner. This makes it so much easier because lunchtime you typically eat leftovers, or it's not as big of a meal, so you don't have to prepare as much. That way, once you get your day done, so you have your breakfast and your dinner, and then when you get your containers done, just see what you have left as far as your greens, whatever you have left, and then portion those out into your snacks and your lunch. A lot of times I drink my Shakeology for my lunch, and so that busts out a protein. I always put spinach in it, so it's a vegetable, and I also put a banana in it, so I put a fruit. So as you're doing that, make sure you start with breakfast, go to dinner, then do your lunch and snacks or whatever's left over. That will save you a ton of time. Once you get your menu done, then create your shopping list. This shopping list divides everything into food, your colored containers, so it made it a little bit easier for me to figure out if I needed to get something else in the vegetables, or I needed more variety in my carbs or whatever. So those are a couple tips for writing your menu. It does take time and it does take preparation, but it's not something you have to do every single week. We do have sample meal menus that you're welcome to use, and you really just have to figure out what works best for you in your situation. Everyone's going to be different. You have stay-at-home moms, you have moms that work full-time, people who work part-time, and so really everyone's going to prepare a little bit differently. Where I work early, I prepare breakfast, but my husband is gone for lunch and dinner, and so he literally will pack all of his containers in a lunchbox and take it with him, and he knows that's his food for the day. He's not tempted to go out and just go to the drive up because it's fast and easy. He already has it done. So as I'm prepping, the easiest way to do it is once you go shopping, do it right then. Do it the same day. Make a plan and give yourself a couple hours after you go shopping to just bust it out. That way it's done for the week. You're already prepared. You're less likely to just go to the drive-thru or order a pizza because you already have food done and ready in the fridge. So a couple of things that I like to do with meat. I prefer my meat barbecued. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to marinate some steak and chicken. This Dakota Buckaroos marinade is amazing. It marinates super quick and it gives your food a lot of flavor. So I'll cook enough protein for my entire week. My husband likes to cut it up and put it on salads, and I'll typically like barbecue and eat just like a slab of steak or a chicken breast or something, maybe the first couple days, and then throughout the week, as maybe it doesn't taste quite as good as it does when it's fresh, that's the stuff that I'll cut up and put into things. I'll put it in salad, I'll make soup and add it to my soup. We make stir fry a lot, or ham fried rice is really good with the cut up meat, and it's already done, so it makes it super easy to prepare. When we do things like ham fried rice, I really like this short grain brown rice. If you've ever been to Rumby Grill and got the brown rice in their rice bowls, it's a lot like that. It's good chewy brown rice. So we'll make a big bowl of brown rice throughout the week and steam vegetables. We'll steam a big pot of vegetables, and then we have our meat. So we can do a yellow of brown rice, we can do a meat and a vegetable. The next day we can use those same ingredients and make stir fry instead, and cut it up and stir fry it all together with maybe some soy sauce and things like that. And then as the week goes on and we have leftover brown rice, then we can make ham fried rice out of it. So for me, I don't like to prep one specific meal every single night. I like to prep things that I can use multiple ways so that I'm not stuck, but it still makes it easy. So those are a couple of the things that I've done. My very first round, I literally prepped everything. I put it in my containers, I measured it, I put it in plastic bags, and then I put it in like a Tupperware in my fridge so I could just grab a baggie of my food, and that was portioned out as done. I didn't have to think about it. Use these to measure your foods. It makes it super, super easy. So when we barbecue our meat, we cut it up in strips. I use my red container, and then we put it in individual baggies so that I'm not constantly trying to figure out what I need. Portion-wise, it's already done for me. When you do things like berries and fresh fruits and vegetables, some of them are a little bit more temperamental than others. If you're doing, if you want to cut up your fruit and portion it out, one thing that makes it last longer so it doesn't go bad as fast, if you cut just the top off of your strawberries, and then put in one half of your sink, clean it out really well, put some warm water, and then you can put distilled white vinegar, and then I always squeeze like 1 or 2 lemons, like fresh lemons. Let it sit in that water solution for a minute, then stick it in clean water, and then lay it out and let them dry. Make sure they're dry, and then you can portion them out and put them in baggies, and they stay really fresh throughout the week. They don't go bad. If you just wash them and cut them up, they'll start to mush and go yucky. So I think that's everything. If there's any questions you have, or if you need suggestions, reach out to myself or your coach. Meal prep is to make your life easier. Make sure you're prepping things you're actually going to eat, that your family's going to eat, because this is something that is to change your life, not to make you suffer on a diet. Your family should be able to eat everything that you eat on this plan, and it shouldn't be something that you're cooking yourself separate food and them separate food. It's all about making those small little changes and just sticking with your portions and eating real healthy, clean food. One other suggestion is, as you are drinking your shakes and things like that, a lot of people like to cut up their fruit and put it in the freezer. I'll do that also with my meat. I don't always cook everything, and so I portion it out in baggies and freeze it, and then I'll cook it later. That's another good tip. And I think that's it. These are a lot of the staple foods that a lot of us have already shared with you before, and they will save your life, and it's all super good food. So again, if you have any questions, let me know, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye you guys.